Wow, wow, wow. Welcome, everyone. Welcome back on the Speaker Show. So, tonight I am super excited. I gotta be honest with you guys. And the main reason why I'm excited, I'm sure most of you know, is just because of the amazing person who is coming tonight. Honestly, oh my goodness. All right, so before I go there, I'm just gonna give you a little bit of intro. And I want to say thank you to everyone who has been waiting for us. Oh, you guys are ready for us to get on, and I just want to say a very big thank you to each and every one of you. So, before I go further, a little bit of introduction. My name is Nini Olafatai, and I'm the host of the Speaker Show. Now, the Speaker Show is a place of inspiration, motivation, where minds are being liberated through reasoning. So, what that means is that through other people's story, you can find a space, you can find your own, you can find your own why, something to inspire you through other people's story, because it is important, because we connect through others, we connect with people. There's nothing you can do all by yourself. It's just all connection through other people. So tonight, so that's basically what the speaker show is about. So we inspire, we motivate, we coach, accountability. We're there to support you. Most importantly, we believe very strongly that each and every one is created for something special. There's something magnificent about you. So we believe that you need to experience it. You need to live the life, without limitation, without setback, you know keep going, and not giving up on your dream. Those are the things that we focus on the speaker, to guide you to the place that you need to be. All right, so now let's get into, because whenever we have a guest, I'm sure you all know that whenever we have a guest, I don't like to talk much, because I always want us to just use our time, okay, with our guests, and then get to know who they are, what they do, and all that. So, and it is a privilege for me to actually even introduce this amazing lady to you, who is actually even doing great things in her field. She's like, she's an amazing person. She works as an architect, and then she's a realtor at the same time. You could imagine how busy our life is. And then most importantly about her, she believes so much in shaping people's dream in reality. She's this person that one can count on, because of the kind of work that she's done, and the kind of legacy and the integrity that she goes on in her everyday life. And the fact that she likes to build connection with more people, not just about business, but also like just life itself. And she's someone that actually even enjoy life. She's an amazing person. There's so much to learn from her tonight. She's done so many things. She's helped so many people, and I am super excited to have her as a guest tonight in our midst. So I just want to tell you, each and every one of you, without taking our time, help me welcome our very, very special guest tonight, Minnie. It's so funny that she's my namesake. Okay, her name is so close to my name, and I am just super excited about that as well. So I'm going to be bringing her in, and then she's going to be telling us a little bit about herself. So welcome, welcome, welcome tonight. I am super excited to have you. How are you doing?
Hello. Well, thank you so much. I'm very excited to be the part of your show. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for having me tonight. I'm really excited to be the part of the show, and I would be more than happy to if I could help someone tonight, if I can help them walk in their way, if they need any guidance, anything. I would love to talk about anything. I'm open to take whatever you have. So, there we are. Let's go for it.
Amazing. I love it when that kind of energy comes on. It's like, yeah, you got this. Let's go.
Course. Well, life is precious. We should not waste for it.
Absolutely, I agree with you. Absolutely, absolutely. Every bit of it is very important, and how we use it is as well important as well. So, wow. So let's get started. Can you tell us a little bit about you? Like, let us know who you are. I've given a little bit intro, but knowing more about you, it will be more nice.
Well, definitely for sure. Well, thank you so much for such a nice introduction. Definitely. I'm an architectural technologist and a realtor. I have been working in Canada since 2020. I immigrated in this country in 2017 with a lot of dreams to grow and, more importantly, to learn. I love learning about cultures, and that's one of the reasons I chose Canada, because it's our multicultural country. So
Mm-hmm.
I always say this doesn't belong to one person, it belongs to all of us. We are the ones who made this country. So it's not a white country, it's not a brown country, it's not a black country. It is our country. We made this and it belongs to us. So I moved here, as I said, as an immigrant. I walked my way through as a student, did my PR, did my education. I had my architect bachelor's in architecture from India, but I decided to pursue architecture again because that was a part of my career. And I did went through it. I did my licensing in it, and then now I am here. I am working around in the industry for over 4 years, almost for most of the builders around, and in as a realtor for past couple of months. And I'm really enjoying it because I love talking to people, as I said. So there we are.
Wow, wow, wow. Oh my goodness, I love this. The fact that you came in 2017 and then you are doing all these amazing things, man, that's a huge credit. I'm telling you, that's beautiful. Honestly, that's beautiful. And we're gonna be going a little bit into that, okay?
For
Because
sure. Bring it on.
we want to get more juice out of you.
Of course, I am here. I'm all yours tonight. So whatever.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so my next question for you is that, so what actually even, I know you said you started it back in Indian, and actually even your accent is so beautiful. I gotta be honest with you. And I told you that the
Oh,
other day. So
thank you. Well, thank
so
you.
you're welcome. So I know you mentioned that you started it back in Indian. So what actually even propel you to be like, I just want to keep going in this field, in this area?
Well, I have always a deep love for architecture. I have loved how the things have evolved over the time. And the amazing fact is, India has so much beautiful architecture to look at it. And then it's so amazing to see, even in those days when we didn't have technology, when we didn't had all these stuff like ACs, cars, and stuff. My goodness, look at it, how they used to design. I was just a big fan of it, always, always. And the fact that I always love what people have in their minds and to bring that to the reality. I love that. As you said it, I really like to shape their dreams because a lot of people, they have the things in their head, but they could not bring it to life. That's what I believe in. I really like walking through them because house is a big thing for all of us. It's our
Mhm.
peace, it's our temple where we want to come back and we want to relax and we want to enjoy our space, right? That's why architecture has been very much fantasizing. And I love the luxury walkings. I'm big fan of all the hotels around the world. So when I travel, that's my first thing. I want to go and see that hotel. I want to go and stay there. So architecture has dragged me towards it. As I said, like I have really, really loved doing it. I love designing dreams into reality.
Wow, that's very beautiful. It's so funny that we don't really see a lot of women in that field.
Yes.
And it's very common within men and all that. So one, like, as a woman, I feel it's an amazing field. I've seen people that, like, they do that, and it comes with a lot of fun. I gotta be honest with you.
Yeah.
There's so much fun with it. But being a woman, what makes you feel that this is just like, I know many people are not doing this, but I'm gonna go ahead and still do this regardless.
Well, to be very honest, in my life, I have lived with the thought that there's nothing that a man can do and a woman cannot do. Yes, we are different on some physical abilities, but as a woman, especially in my life, I never liked to be dependent on men for anything. So that was one of the thing in my head. I've never seen anything. Even now, when I work as a realtor, though, it's tough when you go out. A lot of things like people just don't see you as a professional, they see you as a woman first, and then that's kind of a, sometimes it's a setback, sometimes it's a positive thing too. But I don't believe in restricting myself just because I'm a woman. No, 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 that doesn't work for me. That's not the case. Yes, it's a tough industry when it comes to construction, but you have to be really strong physically, mentally. More here, I would always say more here. If you're strong here, if you train your muscle to go well, you can go ahead.
I 100% agree with you, because I feel that, as ladies, as women, it's important for us to actually even find our place. There's this saying that says that, like, for a woman, it's a huge struggle to fight to fit in. But what would you do when you're not able to fit in? You got to find a place for yourself to be able to
Yes,
sit in, because if not, so no one is going to give you the chair. You
that's
got to
true.
find and fight for yourself to be able to do that. And I'm inspired by you, but I got to be honest.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. You
No,
might have
because
heard the fact, the survival of the fittest. So you have to make your way. You have to fight for it,
Mhm.
right?
Yes,
Yeah. So
yes,
that's how
yes.
it is. That's how it is. And there's never a easy way. There's never something very tough. There's never something really easy. If you have the determination for it, you can do it. I mean,
Absolutely.
I just believe in doing my part. And then look, yeah, you do get depressed sometimes, but then you know what? I just spend time myself, pamper myself, and then I come back. There we go.
That's it. That's it. That's the beauty about life. That's the beauty about life. Because I've seen a lot of people that, whenever they face a little bit of obstacle, whenever they face a little bit of challenge, then that's when they're like, oh, it seems like this thing is not working for me. It seems like, this thing is not, this is not for me. That's when they start thinking of different kind of options. But just like you said, if you make up your mind and say, this is exactly what I want to do, then definitely you are going to do whatever you choose to do. Do you understand
That's
what I'm saying? So nothing is going to limit, because nothing limit us except our mind. That's just the truth. As
yes.
far as you can think is as far as you can go. If you think less of yourself, then definitely nothing is going to happen. So, yeah, so you're doing good. I love that. I love that.
Sure. Yes, we should never have any foundations, any restrictions, because as I said, our brain is our muscle. If you train your muscle that this is your box, it will stay in the box. But if you will train your muscle, okay, you have big horizons, you can go, you can do everything. Then you're
Mhm.
gonna see whatever you can do. You will explore a lot more potential in yourself, which will surprise you that yes, you can do this.
Absolutely, absolutely. Wow. So let's go back to another question that I have. I know you mentioned that you came in as a student. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so we all know the standard in Canada right here. Many people come in as a student,
Yes.
and they kind of find it hard to find a place, because in most times, like once they finish school, they're not able to, like to get a job. And
Yes.
it's like this the cycle just continue and continue and continue. So with you being able, like having your plan in your head already, and saying that this is what you want to do, and planning and all those things like that, so what would you say to the people that, like to the students out there who are trying to, like find a place or find the path that they want to go, or maybe what they want to do, or maybe how to go around it? What would you advise?
Well, first of all, I would really like to advise to the students, especially the Gen Zs, I would say, that are coming out now. Be very much clear about what are your goals and what are your aims in your life. Like, don't just walk blindfoldedly. Okay, I'm just going to do this program and this because this is easy. Don't take education as if just as a duty or something that you just have to fulfill just to go and get your PR. No,
Hmm.
life is about learning. Take everything as a learning. If you even don't like your program, you will still learn something out of it and it will benefit you in your life. First of all, you have to change your psychology towards that. Doesn't matter, there's nothing small, there's nothing big in life. If you will take everything in your life as you're learning, you will 200% grow. Have your path really clear. Like, I studied architecture in India. I was very clear, I could not get that program when I was in India because I was already overqualified for it. But I knew in my head that I really want to pursue in that, and that's where I want to go. So I kept my focus clear. I kept working on it until I was really in it. I jumped into it. I found my way. I figured out, okay, because it's not easy when you immigrate to a new country. I totally understand. And
Hmm.
especially when you don't have anyone around you to help. I had no one. I only had my sister, and she is in a different profession. She tried her best to help me, but still, if I talk to my own industry, no, there was no one. But nowadays, there is a lot more resources. So you should definitely, I would say, have a clear picture in on your head. Everything else will fall in part. If you are clear about your goals, don't forget that in the future this education is something that's going to bring you PR and something you will get, but focus on first what you want to be, where you want to be in your life. So
Hmm.
I don't consider education a waste ever in my life.
Hmm. Wow,
So
that's good.
that's very important thing that we really all need to appreciate in our life, that we do have an opportunity. If you are getting an opportunity to learn something, go for it. I mean,
Mhm.
I'm like, if you'll throw me into something, if you tomorrow throw me with the surgeon and you'll tell me you have to learn a surgery, okay, let's go for it.
I
Though
like
it's totally different, but it's still there. Okay, let's go for it. Why not, right? Because
that.
I'm gonna end up coming out of that room with something really new. You never know, right? As I said, this is something you explore every day.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Wow, wow, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. Okay, so now my next question for you is this. So as an architect, so what are your main role and your responsibility, And this is just for somebody out there who, they might be thinking of considering that as an option, right? So yeah.
So over here in Canada, there is a difference in being an architect, and then there are a couple of other designations that you can go for. I did my bachelor's in India, so I am an architect back home. But if I want to pursue as an architect here, so there's a different licensing process that you have to go through it. But I decided to go into architectural technologist, which is the same field, but it's a different designation. They call you a technologist. So I am an architectural technologist, and I do have my own BCIN in Ontario. So this license means I am authorized to design houses and sign on the construction drawings for any house under 600 square meters. So this is what it is. So this is an alternate option route for the people who don't want to go for the full architectural licensing here, because it's a tough and long job. I'll be honest with you. It's not that you can't do it, but you really have to stick to the people who agree to be your mentors, which is a different process. And I had different goals in my head. I wanted to work as a technologist, of course. I mean, and then and honestly, because I wanted to work as a realtor on the other side, because my both works align very well. So
Mhm.
I decided not to go for the full thing, but to be a BCIN holder in Ontario. This BCIN has allowed me to work with almost all of the builders around Ontario. And I have done designing for like custom homes, production homes, renovations. So, I'm not restricted. And anytime I choose to expand my scope, there you go. I study for another few months, go do my exam, and then I'm on the next level.
Wow, wow, wow. I love that so much. I love that. When I hear you talk, to be honest, I'm just like, honestly, it's a beautiful thing if every individual can actually think beyond. I feel there's so much that we can do. There's so much that we can achieve, if we can think, honestly. Like you said earlier on, because when people come in and then they're like, I want to go for like healthcare, I want to, because healthcare is the one that is making the money, I want to go for this because it's this one that is making the money, I want to go for that, so it's like, when one stand out, I think it's incredible, aside from what every other person is doing. And that just sets someone, like, it set one apart, so. And good job on what you're doing. So keep doing the job, and hopefully,
Yeah,
when I'm
thank
buying my
you.
next house, then you can make all the design for me.
For sure. Definitely. I'll be more than happy. It would be a pleasure for me. Thank you.
That's good. That's good. That's good. So now another thing that I want to ask you is this. So what are the skills and experiences, that the work itself, the job itself required, aside from, having the degree, or like, having the BSIN that you talked about. So what are the other skills and other experiences that they actually even required?
To be very honest, if you really want to go into the construction industry, you really need to love it. You can't do it if you are just doing it for the sake of, oh, I want to make money, or I had the thirst of having those designations behind my name. I'll be honest. So that was one thing. I always wanted something behind my name. That's the one reason. Another, like, yes, if you want to be a technologist over here in Canada, so there are two programs. One is called architectural technician, and another is architectural technologist. One is a 2-year program and one is a 3-year program. There is no
Mm-hmm.
prerequisite for that. You can enroll for it because it's a program after high school. You can just go for it, and then they'll teach you. It's a nice program. They'll teach you in
Mm-hmm.
it. But after that, if you want to work in industry, you really need to specialize in BIM or some softwares. Like there are different fields that you can come out with. Some people they like doing 3D work, so they just go into 3D zones. Some people like BIM, so they go into that. Some people like construction technical stuff, which was me. I'm a more like a technical person, so I'm more into like doing construction drawings, working drawings. And then as I said,
Mm-hmm.
BCIN is just an add-on stamp on it, which allows you to work solely and individually, and not you don't necessarily has to be employed by anyone for that. You can just take your own projects because you are self-employed for that. It's you really don't need any mentor or anything like for that. And in BCINQ, we do have a lot of different categories. Like some people, if you're interested in mechanical, you're interested in electrical, structural. So it's for all kind of engineering people. It's not just for architects. It's all for most all construction background. Even if you don't have, you can go read the code, pass the exam, and good to go for it. As I said, that you really don't need any background. You just need to have your interest and just to do it. You cannot do it if you don't want to do it, right? It's a
Gotcha.
technical job. It demands a lot of detail and hard work. I
Mm-hmm.
always say one thing: all houses look same, but they're not same. If that makes sense.
Hmm. Okay. All right. Okay. Now I know that.
They look same, they're not same. So
Mhm. Yes.
even if we go for production houses from outside or inside, the box might look similar to you, but there will be still minute differences. So you'd really need to be very much focused on it. It's an intricate job. One small mistake can cost you a lot in construction industry.
Wow. Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
So, as I said, you really, really need to have your interest. You need to, it's a lot of people have a vague vision that, if you're good in sketching and artwork, you can go and be an artist. No, this is not an art competition. I'm not sitting here and doing coloring and stuff for my clients. I'm not
Mm-hmm.
making sketches for them. No. If I'm not good at it, I have people to sublet. I can just like there are people to do 3D jobs for me. I do my design. Okay. If I don't have time or anything, it's not that I don't know. If I don't have time, I can, okay, there's a job. But they are just doing the background job,
Mm-hmm.
making it look fancy and nice and all that
Mm-hmm.
stuff. But
Mm-hmm.
it's not like, okay, I can do some sketching, I can do some nice coloring, I'm a good painter, oil painter. No, no,
Mm-hmm.
no, no, no. Forget
Mm-hmm.
about it. You have to be a technical person. You have to have your good math and some calculation things in your hand.
Wow, that's good. That's good. Oh wow. So okay, so we're gonna be going into the real estate, okay? Because that,
Of course.
a lot of people want to know that
Oh,
because everyone is excited about the inflation right now. Because I think it's a little bit down. So and I know right now is a good time for anyone that wants to jump into the market. So we're gonna be right back for that. But before we go on a short break, please, 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 each and every one of you, if there's something that you're not sure about, that you need clarification on, please drop your comment, drop your questions. Like, we're gonna be taking questions afterwards. So please, 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 please stay here right with us, okay? And we'll be right back. We'll be right back, okay? So drop your questions, don't go anywhere. We're still here, okay, everyone? We'll see you shortly. All right, all right. Welcome back.
thank you.
Welcome back. All right. So now we're going to get into the real estate. Okay. So this is the most interesting one. This is the one, like, everyone is like, okay, what's going on? What's going on? So give us an update about real estate. What's going on? And also, Also, I have people who are actually looking to get into the real estate, but they have no idea what to go. I mean, where to go, what to do, because I know there's always a broke age that everybody has to follow. So if you can please throw some light tonight, that would be amazing. All right. So the floor is yours.
Well, thank you so much. Yes, definitely. I can help the people who are looking to get into the real estate market. There are actually now four schools that have been authorized by the RICO, which is the organization that controls the real estate here in Ontario. And one of those is Humber College, is where I did my education. So it's an all online program. You have the opportunity to go and enroll in that program and choose the courses one after each. Of course, the prerequisite is you have to pass the first program in order to go into the next one. So there is a certain time limit that's related to each course in the program, but it gives you a lot of time. So there is a lot of groups around there in Facebook, and you can also reach me out in case you have any questions. Don't be scared about it. It's just practical. It's nothing like you have to learn, memorize. If you'll have some common sense and if you'll understand what you're reading, I know it's going to be a lot of reading and you might feel overwhelmed at a time, but don't be scared about it. I mean, it's nothing that it's like out of the world. You should be able to get through it. And there are a lot of resources, as I said, out there. There are a lot of people out there who can help you, and you can also reach me out if you have need any clarifications on anything. Talking about the market right now, yes, market is catching up back. It is a little bit slow, but it is really good time for the first time home buyers, especially to be in the market, because the prices of the houses are incredible right now. You can easily afford within 500, 600 range, a very nice, decent looking house for a nice family, which was impossible a few years ago as we had the
Mhm.
COVID. But it seems like the market is getting up. The selling days are a little bit over 30 days for on an average. It's a kind of stable market, we call it right now. It's
Mhm.
slow, but on the other hand, it's a good news because there is not a lot of competition out there. Like, it's not a stressful situation. You know,
Mhm.
if you like something, you do have a time or a little bit to think about it and to go and put your offer. It's not a lot of fights going on how we had few years ago. So
Mhm.
I would really recommend the ones who are looking to go and buy houses that this is the time for you. As we
Mhm.
all know, Mr. Trump is coming up with the tariffs from next month
Mhm.
onward. So the prices are expected to jump again. We are expecting the prices of house to go up again because the construction industry is going to be affected by that. So I would
Mhm.
really say, if you want to go for it, this is your time. Then go for it. And if, as I always said, if you have any questions or anything, you can always reach me out. I'm there to help you. I'll be there to walk you around with and then answer any of your questions for it. I always believe in educating my clients and before they go ahead and make any decision, because this
Mhm.
is a big decision for most of us in our life. A
Mhm.
lot of us may not even move once we buy the house. We might just stick there for 30 years, 40 years until we retire. So I believe this decision means a lot. A home means a lot. It's a very emotional decision for a lot of us. So this has to be taken care of very nicely. And I believe that we really have to understand your client before they make their decision, both emotionally and financially. So
Mhm.
I believe in my real estate life that I just don't believe in selling homes. I believe in changing lives. That's how I live with it.
Amazing. Wow. I love the way you finished it.
Thank you. I mean it. I believe in changing lives, which means that
Mhm.
I really like if I could add something meaningful to someone's life. I would love if somebody will remember me with a nice thought and good thought. That's how I live with it.
Wow, that's amazing. I love that. I love that. Okay, so I know you mentioned about like, having to educate the client and then, when they're buying and most especially most people like, they stay there for like 30 years. What's your intake on that? Do you think that like people like when do you think is the best time? I know one can decide that for people because like you said, it's an emotional state, like it comes with finance, it comes with so many things, right? So but what would you say? What kind of advice would you give? Like, do you think it's advisable to be in the house for like 10 years or maybe 20 years? Like, instead of having to use the whole 30 years, like what would you say about that? And then after that, we're gonna be going into the tax. Okay. So oh yeah, I've got you all here tonight.
For sure, for sure. Well, I honestly believe in, especially in real estate, there's never a right time if you are not ready as a person. If you're ready to go for it, it's always a right time for you. You have to yourself create an opportunity, and this is a very subjective number. I cannot give any number to anyone that, you should stay in this home for 1 year, maybe 5 years, maybe 10 years, because this is very subjective. It is based on your location, it is based on your finances, it is based on your beliefs, it's based on your employment, your family size. So it's a lot of things that dictate where you want to stay and for how long. Definitely, for some people, if they're investors and if they're looking for quick flips, so they might just sell something, and we would not call the home a home for them. That's more like a investment property for them.
Mhm,
But for people who really want to live somewhere, like, as I say, you get emotionally attached to the place, especially your first home, because it's
mhm,
it, it's it's a very nice feeling to afford something and you to be in your own space, especially coming out of a rental home. So, as I said, this is a very much subjective topic. Like, I might like my home and I don't want to leave my home. But let's say I get a very nice job in Ottawa and I have no option. I would have to,
mhm,
right? Yeah, unless
mhm,
until and unless you could afford another home, you can rent. There are always options. Like, my
mhm.
job is to educate you, to guide you, to advise you what would be the best for you in that market situation. And as per your financial situation, rest, of course, as I said, the decision is based on when you are ready, when your brain is ready, and when everything else is ready and everything else is in place for you, right?
I like
So
that.
I am there to help you, advise you, but I cannot make a decision on your behalf, right?
Mhm.
So I would definitely help you to make a viable decision, to bring everything, all the facts and everything on table for you, but at the end you have to make your choice.
Good. I love that because a lot of times when you go into the market, you will see people that, they're just all about like, the money they want to get from it. How
Yes.
much they can make and all that. So that's what they're actually all about. Not actually about the client itself or like, being concerned or like, what they need to know and all that. So it's nice to have people like you in the market as well, so that that they can actually give proper education and support the people, with all the things that they need, you know, to know, especially like, when they're buying for the first time or maybe probably like, maybe probably second time, right? So,
Mhm.
excuse me, there's always things to know, there's always things to learn, right? So, yeah, wow. That's good. I like that. All right. So our time is running pretty fast. Okay. But I'm
Yes.
going to tell you this. We're going to take the tax. My question for you on the tax is there. So I have people that they keep asking that. Is it better to like, are you paying less tax, like, when you have your home itself rather than when you have like an investment property?
Well, honestly, for your taxes, accountants are the right person to answer those questions for you.
Hmm.
But I can just give you a brief introduction of how that works. So in Ontario, um, when something is your principal residence, then you don't
Yeah.
pay taxes on it. But when it comes to investment properties, definitely you pay taxes for it, because then it's counted as your income. Primary residence is never counted as your income, so you do end up saving money over there. But when one person, let's say I own five properties, five houses cannot be my principal residence, right? I can
Yeah.
only
You
dictate
can walk.
one place as my
Mhm.
primary residence and can only save taxes over there. Unfortunately, for everything else, there is no way out. And your accountants are the best people. Yes, they are the best people to reach out, and your lawyers, because they can definitely help you make your way around it. There are a lot of different ways. So, as I said, we really need a good accountant. Yes, they can help you with around it, but it's always different in having a primary property and the secondary residence. So. Yes.
Amazing. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. All right. So we're gonna be going in and then take questions from our audience, and then we're gonna be back to me, okay?
Of
Like,
course, of
come back
course.
to you. All right. So so we've got some questions right here that says, is there a gender barrier that exists in the field of architect and then real estate in Canada? Do you
Could you
think
say
there's
that
any
again?
do you think there's any difference? Like, do you think that, like, the gender is like a problem or something? Like, what do you think about it?
Honestly, no. There is no gender issues and gender inequality. You might have seen a lot of females, especially excelling as a realtors. Because a
Mhm.
lot of people they say you come with the benefit of having beauty, so you can dictate. You can grasp more clients. So no, as I just mentioned it before in the beginning of our chat, it's in your mind. You stay
Mhm.
strong, you stand out there, you can beat that. No, I personally don't believe in any gender inequality. And no, I haven't faced, luckily I'm blessed, I guess I haven't faced anything like that.
Wow, amazing. I love that. I love that. And then, personally, I think they might be, but I think it's not something that is that obvious because, everybody still get paid based on the percentage, like, whatever
Yes.
the property of the house, like, accumulated, or like whatever it's being
Mhm.
sold for, like they get percentage. I mean, I think there's a standard percentage for each level of properties that it's being sold, right?
Yes.
So yeah.
Just prove your worth. That's what I just say. Just prove yourself. Just
Mhm.
make yourself stand out. That your employer has no reason. They have nothing in hand that they would feel that yes, you're not better than a man. So no, I mean, just go for it.
Amazing. That's good. All right. So there's another question here that says, since we are going into a very strong buyer market, what advice could you offer for first time home buyer? Which I think you talked about this, but if you can
Yes.
just quickly say something on that, that would be great.
Well, as I just said, this is a really good time for the first time home buyers to be in the market. Just have your pre approvals ready. Just know what kind of house you're looking for, what kind of area. The more clear you are, the better it is for you. Because, as I said, this is really good time. We have a lot of good properties out there. If you will be clear about your financial pocket and if you know the difference between your needs and wants, that's very important. You have to differentiate between what are your needs and what are your wants. Like
Mhm.
people expect that they can have a lot more in that small pocket, but I really want to have a realistic picture in your head that what
Mhm.
could actually come up in that pocket, which as a realtor I can definitely help you. If you can come to me, if you have, okay, this is my budget, that's what I'm looking for, that's
Mhm.
my job to walk you through it and bring something on your table for you that works for you. So yes, as I said, just go for it and then be ready mentally, physically, emotionally, and we are there for you.
Wow. I love that. All right. So there's another question right here that says, why is real estate in Canada hard? So what do you think about that? Do you think it's hard? Do you think it's easy? I think you talked about that as well. So your mindset is all that matters, but I'll leave the floor for you to answer that.
It's not just about real estate. It's mostly about a lot of professions right now, which I would say have reached to a saturation point because we have a lot more people coming to the country, not a lot of new employments, and then but as I said, you have to make yourself prove out. You have to add value to what you are doing to make yourself stand out there, so people want to come to you, and you should be the reason why they want to work with you. It is there is no job easy. There is nothing that comes very easily to you. You just have to find your way how you can excel in that. Every job, as I said, even the architectural job is tough. Trust me, it's not very easy. You have to fight. You have to fight and make your way out. It's
Mhm.
not like even like you walk out and everything is readily available for you. No, no, just excel in it, believe in yourself, do your part. That's what I am doing it, and if you will do it, you will be also there, and one day you will say it's not hard. Try, and you will excel.
Amazing. I love that. I love that. I love that. Okay, so we're gonna go to the next question that says, what should first time buyer do to prepare to purchase their new home, i.e., maybe like finance, debt. Yeah. So,
Well, as I said, you should have your pre-approvals done. Get a mortgage guy, have them look at your employment status, have them look at your finances, let them give you a bracket and see what you can afford and what actually is your pocket to work with. And
mhm,
once you have that thing in your mind, you should have a second thing you have in mind is what kind of home you would like and in what location, because
mhm,
that's more important. I mean, if you have, let's say, a $500,000 of bracket, but you want a house in Toronto downtown, that's not going to work. So you really
mhm.
focused on where you want to be and what is your bracket. So as a first time home buyer, you really need to all about that. As I said, pre-approval is the most important thing, the first thing, and where you want to be is the very important thing. And if you really want any guidance, just drop down to me and I'll be there.
Amazing. That's good. All right. And then we're gonna be taking this last one, and then we're gonna come back to me because of our time. All right. So this question says in terms of location, which you were actually even talking about just now. So where best would you recommend for mortgage for investment?
Well, it's a very subjective question. You can even invest in Florida. You can invest anywhere, but it is, as I said, it just depend upon what is your investment pocket. Again, how much investment you want to do. Like if you have $1 million or more than $1 million, okay, we can go and look into those areas. We can go towards GTA. If you have small pocket, then we have to come to the small towns. But yes, definitely when it comes to investment, we will choose the property wisely because we don't want the property to depreciate. Rather, we want the property to appreciate and bring you more money. And how you can recover that money from either renting house or leasing house or different ways of which we definitely discuss when we get in touch. But at the first, you really need to know what is your pocket.
Mhm, mhm. Wow, wow, wow. Amazing. I love all that. All right. So back to me now.
Yes.
Thank you for answering those questions. And then now back to me now. So, what do you think about the idea of rent to home? Because I've seen people that they feel rent to own is a better option,
Yes.
and in some cases, is not actually a good option.
Mm-hmm.
So, but what do you think about it?
Well, I did have a lot of clients who actually came up to me for this rent to own properties thing. It's a good opportunity for the people who don't have a lot of credit history or bad credit history, who could not afford a financing right now or mortgage upfront or doesn't have any employment stuff. It's a good option for them because rent to own home properties work more like you are renting a home, but you are kind of looking at that home as your future home, which you might end up buying if you like it after the certain number of years that you lived in it. It's good and bad in both ways. It's good because you're going to
Mhm,
take care of the home more because it might turn out to be your own home. And
mhm,
it's bad because a lot of people, even after staying there for a couple of years, they might just turn around and say, oh, you know what, no, I'm just going to move to a different place, I don't want it. So it's bad for the investor, that because they gave you their home, they waited for all that years with the expectation that they're going to sell it out to you at certain point. And most, like, some tenants may not even take care of the property, but most of them, it does work for people who have a limited budget, because when you pay rent, you do pay some share towards your mortgage as well, which in maybe after 3 years or 5 years would help you, would be counted as your down payment, and you eventually end up owning that home.
mhm. So, but to what I've heard, it's like it's still on the more expensive side.
This is a very much, as I said, it depends upon what area, location, and what kind of home you're looking for. There is a
Mhm,
qualification process for it as well. This rent to home properties are a totally different kind, different sector that, yes, definitely I do deal with it. If there is anyone interested, they can reach me out. It depends upon which city you are looking at, and then we make an application for them, because first of all, we look for an investor. I have to find someone who is really interested to buy a home and then give it out as a rental property to XYZ tenant, and then
mhm.
trust them that they will buy it after certain years. So it's a very intricate process, and it's a more trust related process. So if people are interested, yes, we go for it. We make applications and we try and find investors, we try and find people, and of course you have to like the house as well, right? You
Hmm.
have to like the property that you want to live in, and then eventually you want to be the owner of that property.
Hmm.
It is not as expensive as compared to bringing up 150,000 or something upfront, which people don't
Hmm.
have. When you pay slowly and gradually, like let's say $2,000 a month or something like that, and then it's a dedicated part that goes towards building up your down payment, which you
Hmm.
realize when you actually end up buying that home.
Hmm. Oh, that's good. Thank you for the information. I'm
No
sure,
problem.
the people will know, and then if they have more questions regarding that, they're gonna reach out to you. So we're gonna be dropping your information
For
below.
sure.
So that way, like if there's anyone who is interested in like contacting you or maybe wanting to know more, so through that means they can be able to reach you directly.
Of
So
course.
wow. Okay. So there's one last question that I want to ask, and that's
Of
about
course. No, go ahead. Go ahead.
all right. So speaking of investors, so there's this stuff out there that like people say that like when you are looking to invest and you don't need to put down any money, there are people who are gonna actually put down the money. So what do you think about that? Those kind of investment, like they say like, oh, you want to buy a property, and you don't need to have money to do it, like you don't need to have money to buy it, like they just find you investors, and then the investors will be the one to put the money down, and then I think probably like you're just going to pay monthly or whatever the arrangement might be. So what's your intake on that?
Well, those are more like if you have big projects, like you can take your business proposals to different investors. For example, I have a big lot and I'm bringing up a commercial plaza, or let's say a big warehouse in it. And then I go with my business proposal to different construction companies, to different investors who may like my proposal, and they
Mm-hmm.
might like to invest in that, because in the long run, what happened in that case, I own the land and the investor owns the building on top, so we both benefit. So I have a permanent tenant on my land, and somebody else has a permanent building, so they make money from the tenant and I make money from my land, and which has a building on top. So it's added value for everyone on the top. When you don't have that much money, you need to have a strong business plan before you go ahead to anyone, so that they can see your projections and they can see what you can bring them. So that's one thing, you have to be very careful about it, and it's mostly for big projects. You can't do it for like any small projects. Nobody is going to come up and spend money. Okay, I want to build a house, you can you invest for my house? No.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
it's more like big commercial projects.
Wow, amazing. Wow, 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 wow. It's been a wonderful time with you. If it was
Thank
to be up to me, I'm just going to keep you here, and then we're just going to keep talking and talking and talking.
Well, thank you so much. I really had a good time chatting. I hope I could answer some of the questions. And as I said, if anyone has any questions regarding anything, you are more than welcome to reach me out. And as Needy mentioned, she's going to drop my information. So you can text me, you can reach me out on email, or you can even give me a call whenever you would like. And then I'll be more than happy to help you.
Amazing, amazing. Thank you so much for being here with us tonight. I really appreciate it so
Thank
much.
you so
I
much.
know
It
you're
was a pleasure
busy.
for
Thank you. I like that.
me. Thank you.
So wow, it's been a beautiful time with you. So I just want to say a very big thank you, and then on behalf of my audience as well. So we're saying a very big thank you to you for showing up with us, for being with us, for like giving us all these beautiful educations. Like I just want to say a very big thank you to you. Thank
My
you.
pleasure. My pleasure. Always there. Thank you.
That's good. All right, so you're gonna go now, but before you go, just one thing. Give my audience one word before you go.
Just believe in yourself, as I said. Just live your life. We only have one life, and to the fullest. Live your every day as your last day. That's it.
Amazing, amazing, amazing. Thank you very much. Thank you so much.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Have a great night.
Thank
Thank you.
you. All right, everyone. Wow, wow, wow. That was amazing. What do you guys think? Oh my goodness, there's so much education. Oh my God. All right. So we're gonna be rounding up because we're fast spent right now. Time is fast spent. So I just want to tell each and every one of you, thank you so much for joining tonight. And then if this is your first time of joining the Speaker Show, please do not forget to click on the notification button. Do not forget to subscribe on our channel. You will always get new videos, like different people, excuse me, different people coming in. Like, you never know when it's going to be that moment for you. You never know whose story is actually going to change your life. We've seen amazing stories on this show. We've seen people who, like, didn't go to school but end up becoming something amazing. We've seen people, like, with all kinds of area, all kind of works area. So I just want to tell you, please subscribe, like it, and then like the video. Don't just listen, like and share. Please share with your friends, share with your loved ones. Don't be selfish. Don't be the only one listening to all these good things. Share with everyone so they can be part of what's going on, so you can be a blessing to their lives. So I just want to say, thank you, everyone. It's been a wonderful evening, and I'm just gonna see you all. I'm gonna see you all next week again. Next week, Friday. We're gonna be here. We're gonna be live 7 p.m. So come in, tune in with us. We're gonna be having another guest. So I'm not gonna be saying much, but just join in with us and let us have a good time together. So thank you very much. And I remain your one and only host, Niniola Fatai. Thank you. And I'll see you next week. Bye now. Bye, everyone. Bye.